WBTV News starts right now with breaking news.
Someone said, oh, it was a fire, and then she comes running and she's like, no, it's shots fired.
Breaking tonight here live at 5, chaos erupts at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Multiple people shot, hundreds more left to make a run for it. We are live with the breaking developments.
And Duke Energy customers are flabbergasted by outrageous power bills. All new, the calls from one of the state's top leaders to put a stop to that rate hike. And a Charlotte man at the center of a tangled web. Allegations of child sex crimes leading to a deadly confrontation. What a judge just decided on whether the man wrapped up in all of this should stay in jail.
But first, the breaking news we're following tonight. One person is dead, 10 to 15 others hurt after shots ring out at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade. These are live pictures right here from downtown Kansas City. A moment of celebration now turns into the nation's latest mass shooting. Kansas City police say 2 armed people have been taken into custody tonight. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Jamie Bowl.
And I'm Molly Grantham. Like you said, Jamie, what was supposed to be a day of celebration ends in violence. So take a look at this. Moments after shots are fired, hundreds of fans in red scrambling. You can see them. It's almost like you can sense the fear, not knowing which direction the gunfire was coming from.
The parade itself started at noon our time. The shooting happened just as that rally was ending. This is near Union Station. If you're not familiar, that's right in the heart of downtown Kansas City. The station was being used as the stage for the players. People were then gathered in the green space nearby to watch the celebration. And as those things were winding down, those shots rang out, and then police put out on Twitter, or X as we know it now, for people to leave the area. Again, police have said 2 armed people in custody right now.
We saw the police swarm a stairwell, and then we heard another pop from there. And that's when I was like, okay, we're gone.
Time to move. Similar situation?
Same, yes. I was on the probably to her right. Probably on her right side when everything was going on. And then so we kind of circled back, but then all of the people in FBI and police, they were all like, okay, everybody has to go that way towards Crown Center. And so everybody started going that way, and then everybody's trying to come back because everybody's parked over here. And now that's a crime scene, we can't get in the parking garage. So everybody's
here until it's cleared up
and stuck.
Because your cars are still in there as well.
And that's where.
Again, more of the video there from the aftermath. In just the last 15 minutes, we did get a live update from the Kansas City mayor and also the police chief.
The mayor says that more than 600 Kansas City police officers were on duty at the parade, so hundreds there, and there were hundreds more from other neighboring departments. Here's what the police chief just said.
I'm angry at what happened today. The people who came to this celebration should expect a safe environment. We had over 800 law enforcement officers, Kansas City and other agencies, at the location to keep everyone safe. Because of bad actors, which were very few, this tragedy occurred.
Again, a developing story here tonight. 1 person dead, 10 to 15 others hurt. No conditions on those injured. The police chief does not believe any children were among those who were injured. They're also hearing that it was spectators nearby who actually helped chase down one of those suspects as they tried to flee the situation. We're going to continue to bring you live updates over the next 90 minutes, including the next steps as this investigation gets underway. You're going to hear more from people who were there. Also, be sure you have the WBTV News app downloaded with your notifications turned on. We will send you updates just as soon as we get them. We're also on top of breaking news in West Charlotte right now, where there was a deadly shooting at a barber shop.
It happened just before 3 o'clock. Medic says it happened on Little Rock Road near the intersection of Tuckasegee Road. We have it mapped out for you here. Our Ron Lee is live near the scene right now. So, Ron, what do you know?
Well, police are telling me that someone with CMPD command is headed down to the scene right now to give us the very latest information. But I want to show you what's going on right now and right behind me. Folks, take a look at this. Dozens and dozens of these evidence markers all over the ground. Now, these are used to mark and catalog clues that police find at a crime scene. Right now, it looks like they're on top of everything from shell casings to tennis shoes. Now, I talked to several eyewitnesses down here, many of whom are too afraid to go on camera, but they all tell me the exact same story. The victim walked out of the Master Cuts barbershop in the shopping mall off Little Rock Road. They say 2 cars pulled up and began firing at the man. He managed to run as the two vehicles took off. Medic rushed the victim to the hospital, where he later died. Now, there is a second crime scene active right now just off the road, off Tuckasegee Road. We don't know if that's connected, but there are a lot of police cruisers. We're going to ask CMPD Command about that, and if those two are connected, we will have the very latest for you coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. For now, I'm Ron Lee, WBTV, on your side.
Ron, thank you. An update tonight on a suspected child sex offender in South Charlotte. Today, a judge ordered a bond modification hearing for this man, Nathan Martin. It's slated for Friday. We have been following every update in this case for you. We told you earlier this week he didn't show up for his bond hearing. A judge ordered his rearrest and he was captured yesterday. That sex crimes investigation started unfolding moments after a deadly shooting at his home on Meadow Ridge Drive. 911 calls from that night show a man and woman went to confront him, believing he was sexually molesting a young family member.
Well, it's happened again. Another incident involving a driver in our area captured on camera not stopping for a school bus. Take a look. Right there, clear as day. One of you guys sent us this video from Salisbury. You can clearly see a truck blow by a school bus just as a child is getting off. This happened yesterday on West Peeler Street, and the woman who sent the video says the bus driver had lights flashing, the stop sign extended, but the driver of the truck just kept going. Luckily, no children were hurt here. If caught, the driver faces a $500 fine along with 5 points on their license.
A day after WBTV took your concerns to Duke Energy about rate hikes, State Attorney General and gubernatorial candidate Josh Stein now asking the North Carolina Supreme Court to reject the new rate increase. The new rates were implemented last month after being approved by the North Carolina Utilities Commission. It was known rates would increase by about 8%, but when new bills came in, many of you reached out to us saying they were much higher than that. Yesterday here live at 5, WBTV's Caroline Hicks sat down with one customer who saw a $70 increase from the previous month. A spokesperson for Duke Energy spoke one-on-one with Caroline, trying to clear up the confusion. One of those being lines on bills labeled as summary of rider adjustments. Duke Energy says they're not new charges, just new ways of listing them, but they would change from month to month.
If you look at December, the temperatures were milder, and so people didn't consume as much electricity on average. So you are going to see that change, and that's one reason why we recommend if you're going to compare bills, you should always compare the current month to the previous year, same month.
In a statement tonight, Stein pleaded to the court, saying every dollar matters for North Carolina families, yet Duke Energy's rate increase is too high. So I'm asking the court to side with North Carolina's ratepayers and to reject this rate increase. We'll keep you updated as the story develops.
Questions still lingering tonight after a man was found shot to death in southwest Charlotte Tuesday afternoon. Charlotte Crime Stoppers now offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officers were called to the Stone Ridge Apartments. That's on Camden Creek Lane near South Tryon Street, not far from the Airsley area. We do have some video to show you from the scene. When officers arrived, they found 39-year-old Michael Burrows with a single gunshot wound. His picture is there on the screen. He died there. So far, no arrests have been made, so if you know anything, please call police.
Today marks 24 years since a little girl from Cleveland County went missing in the night, never to be seen again. Her name is Aisha Degree. You've likely heard that name before. Her parents told investigators they last saw her in her bedroom, but when they went to look for her in the morning, she was gone. She was just 9 years old then. Today, she would be 33. All these years later, the family's still holding out hope that someone out there knows something. Here to talk more about the investigation, WBTV anchor John Carter. John?
Well, Jamie, as you mentioned, it's been 24 years since Aisha was last seen. And if you take a step back and you think about the crime-solving technology that's been developed since that time, we're looking at some very high-tech devices and useful aid that can help solve cases. Perhaps the case of Aisha Degree will be one of them. Investigators say they are confident in solving the case no matter how long it takes. The ultimate goal, of course, is to get the Degree family answers as to where their daughter is. Over the years, the sheriff's office has gotten more than 700 tips, but believes someone is still holding back.
And we're asking you to come forward because eventually we're going to find you and we're going to bring you to justice. No one's forgotten about Aisha, not myself, not the sheriff's office, not the community.
So it's not a cold case, and we're not going to let it go. This is something that we really feel like that can be solved, and we're determined to solve it.
Now, there is a $45,000 reward for information in the case. If you know anything, no matter how inconsequential you think it may be, please call the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office or 911. Molly, Jamie?